What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a new video on the channel. Well, I'm in the Corvette E-Ray, and I don't usually do this, but one guy decided to be kind of cocky in the last video's comments. Basically, I do a series on this channel where you guys send me tunes over on the Discord, and I try them out for videos, and if they're bad, you get banned from the Discord for a week. Now, not only I decide, but the comments also decide. This guy was so confident that he decided to put in the comments, he's like, my E-Ray tune will be S1 meta when you try it. That's what got my attention, right? Why is it not S1 meta now? Why is it S1 meta when I try it? Regardless. I replied to him, I said it just won't be because I know that this car isn't meta for anything. There's people that literally go around trying new cars that come out for a bunch of different things, and they'll usually, you know, not really let me know, but they'll usually show it off, and they'll say that this new car is meta. It's very good for something. It's not just very good for something, but it's meta. Meta meaning it is the most effective tactic available. I'm pretty sure is what I guess it kind of stands for. It is the best thing to use, right? But this guy said, when I try it, it will be meta. And I said, it just won't wait. And he said, yes, it is. Yes, it will. Try it. It is good. And I said, if the tune is ass, I'm permabanning you from the Discord. So he's not getting just a timeout for a week. He's permabanning you. And he goes, yeah, I know the tune is good, really good. I will not be banned. So that's what's happening in today's video. I want to test this guy's tune because he's so confident that it's meta. And let's just go for it. So it's the Corvette E-Ray, which is what I'm driving right now. This was added to the game not that long ago, but it's in the game now. Anyway, he put the code in. He's only been a member for, I think, a little less than a month now. If I saw that correctly. Anyway, 167286945 is the code for this thing. It's grip, apparently. Okay. All-wheel drive, still. Racing slicks, race suspension. Braking is good. Launch is good. Handling is quite decent. Acceleration is good. Top speed is not that great. S1 meta, he said. So I'm gonna try this for a couple of different things, just so I don't really just so I don't just say, you know, it's bad or it's good. I want to try it for a couple of different things. So this is his Corvette tune. It's grippy, yeah. It's very grippy. Now, like I said, I want to try it for a couple of different things. I want to try to see if it's good for specific races, for sprints, because he hasn't said what it's meta for, right? Like, he just said it's meta. I'm going to put on sim steering as well, and I'm also going to go ahead and turn off drift cam, since this isn't a drift car. Right, cool. So, this is the car here. I'm going to test it out on a couple different tracks, and we'll see what it's like. So I'm going to hop into Rivals, go into road racing. I test out my cars on this track. There's a bunch of different tracks that you can try to test the cars out on. Like the Lookout circuit is quite good. The Playa Azul circuit is very good as well. I like the first one just because I've done it so many times. I know how to drive around it, and it's just a track. I don't usually test out my cars on this track, but I have done this quite a lot of times, and it's not too bad. So I'm going to try it first of all on this track. We'll see. Nowhere near top 1000. The XJR is also very, very good on this track. But we'll try to see if we can beat it in this thing. I'm also going to bring this thing down to Golden Toge as well, just to see what it's like around the tighter corners and stuff like that. I know the Golden Toge kind of doesn't really represent a lot of tracks, but I'm going to do that anyway. And I'm also going to bring it up on the Vulcan Sprint, because that is also one of the best sprint tracks in the game as well. I can try and drive around that. So we'll see. We'll see what this thing is meta for. Okay, brakes are good. I can brake a lot later. Turning is very good. It's not really that quick. Ooh, okay. A bit interesting there. I actually have to lift up quite a bit. Oh, there you go. That's what the Jag is like anyway. So that's me driving that Jag, by the way. Which is a lot more meta than this car. I'll tell you that. For both sprint races and circuit races. I don't think I'm catching the Jag. Let's just put it that way. I don't think I'm catching the Jag. If this was meta, I would be a lot closer to the Jag. Maybe even driving faster. 42 seconds, I'm like 3 seconds off. 2.5 seconds. Trying to brake as long, or not as long, as late as possible. Starts to understeer a little bit. That corner, the front end just comes in and then it just stops. Starts to understeer a little bit. There you go, slightly better cornering than the last one there. It's all bad tune, but it's definitely not even close to being meta for anything. Not even close. I'm trying to perfect my line here a little bit. I'll drive a little better. Could have taken a slightly cleaner turn there, but that's what I could have done. And here, go wider, lift off. There we go. It's 42.1. Yeah, it doesn't have the legs for it. It just doesn't have the legs for it. I feel like it just runs out of steam quite a bit. Especially trying to keep up with this Jag. There you go, better cornering again there. Faster again. Yeah, 42 dead pretty much. Well, as you can see, for circuit races, it's definitely not meta. Let's move on to the Vulcan Sprint, which is a street race. Well, it's a sprint race, but it's you get what I mean. It's also uphill, so the all-wheel drive of this thing should be decent. I should be able to get good acceleration out of corners. The turn-in response is quite good, but the I don't know, I feel like it's a little slow for what it is. But yeah, let's try, like I said, the Vulcan Sprint, because that's another one that's also very much used in testing out cars. I've done it many times. So it's basically the uphill version of the, you know, the mountain pass. But you go uphill, so I guess the all-wheel drive of this thing should be quite helpful, right? Again, in S1, the Tacoma is, by the looks of things, what I've used for this. It was actually very good at the time, but as you can see, I'm only 6,000 in the world, so I'm nowhere near top 1,000 with this thing. I should definitely be able, like, if I chose like the Viper or something like that, I'd be so much higher on the leaderboard. So, in the first one, I couldn't even beat, what was I, 1,500 in the world or something like that? This one, I'm 6,000 in the world, and the Tacoma was very good at the time when I drove it. So let's see if I can even beat the Tacoma in this. Okay? I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to try to give it the beans as much as I possibly can here. And we'll see. It is just slow. I mean, grip-wise in the corners it's not bad, but it's just slow. Okay. I'm kind of just keeping up with the Tacoma. I think the Tacoma's a little bit quicker than this thing. So I can see it pulling away. The brakes are the one thing on this car that I can't really fault. They're actually very, very good. As you can see how much later I'm braking than I was doing in the Tacoma. There you go. Nice overtake. The Tacoma's going to catch me a little bit here now in these next couple of corners, because these are some high-speed corners. This thing just doesn't have that high speed. Yeah, the cornering capabilities of this thing are good. It's just, I feel like it's lacking quite a lot of power for some of the cars in this class. Okay, I beat my PB, which was with the Tacoma. Again, another user-submitted car from way back when. I'll wait for this to finish and we'll see where I am in the world. But, I mean, let's say even if I drive much cleaner, I can break like another, somehow, somewhere, I'll break like another like 3 seconds off my time. If that. Right, maybe not 3 seconds. Let's say like 2 seconds or something like that. But let's just say, if everything goes great, I can break another like 3 seconds off my time. So, finishing off at around like 2:36. We'll see where that puts me now with the sprint race. And then the last thing I want to check it out, or I want to do, is I want to throw it down the Golden Tollgate, because a lot of people send me tunes over on Discord regarding that track and wanting me to race their cars on that track. It's basically the same thing that I've just done there, except it's narrower and it goes downhill instead of uphill. So I should kind of eliminate the power aspect of this thing and focus a lot more on the handling of it. It should play with this car's advantages, basically, if I take it downhill. So we'll try that and see. So I said, so I'm 3,300th in the world on that. I said if I can break maybe another like 3 seconds, it should put me up here with the 236s. Not even top 1,000. The Lotus Elise is GT1 is very, very good. I've had a bunch of cars go around this track, or sorry, not around this track, but I've had a bunch of people send me Lotus Elise GT1s. I've had one of them that was very, very good, and I used it before on a different track, not on this one, obviously. But there you go. I'd end up getting just a little over top 1,000 on that. Okay, cool. So it's not meta for uphill racing. Okay, what about downhill racing? Like I said, what if it's good for the Golden Tollgate, the one track that I've done a bajillion times. 675 horsepower, shouldn't be that useful, or that used, because we're going downhill, so a lot of that is going to be gravity. Let me hop on the Discord real quick and let me have a look at the Golden Tollgate time, see what the fastest S1 car is. Oh, would you look at that? Wait, actually no, it's not. So someone sent me a TVR Griffith, which apparently was absolute monster, and it beat the Anniversary Viper barely by 0.1 of a second. Actually, it's even less than 0.1 of a second. 0.09 of a second or something like that. So, the TVR Griffith and the Viper Anniversary Edition were very close. Well, these are tunes that you guys submitted, but these were very close to each other. NSX then did a 417. So, I'm expecting low 4s with this car. Okay? So, low 4s is what I want to see happen with this car. I'm also going to go into Cockpit View because I drive better in Cockpit View on this track for whatever reason. So let's try that out. I don't know. On the narrower track, it just feels a little better when I drive in cockpit. That's why I always drive like this. I feel like I'm in more control. And always keep in mind that on this track, because it's so long, because it's so long, I could make maybe 1 or 2 mistakes. You know, there's a chance that I didn't take a corner perfectly, so that's why at the very end I always say, you know, I could improve my time by like 2 or 3 seconds. So keep that in mind after I do my run here. So, or even up to like 5 seconds sometimes, where I do end up trying to do the best I possibly can, but it's difficult because it's a long track. You know, it's hard even in real life to perfect every single corner, do everything like very, very much spot on. You know, I'm not that talented. Okay, I'm not that talented to be able to do every single corner perfectly. And if someone says to you, "Yeah, I've done every corner perfectly on a track," they're lying. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to go faster. This thing just doesn't seem to want to turn, really. It's all slick tires. It should turn. See, that's the thing. When I'm playing on like wider tracks and I'm able to like slightly go off a little bit, there's so much room to play around, I guess, with the car and have it go around corners very easy. But because this track is so narrow, obviously the creator turned the normal mountain pass into a really, really narrow track. It's a little bit more difficult. So you have to keep everything in check. If you go a bit too fast, you're either in the wall or you're hitting the guardrail and that thing slows you down. So that's the one thing about this Golden Toge track that I really like, is that there's not really a lot of room for mistakes. So you have to drive as fast as you possibly can, but at the same time you have to be as careful as possible as well, because you will end up losing a lot of time and even just ruining your run altogether if you end up crashing into the guardrail or if you end up crashing into the wall. Because also the walls, for whatever reason in this game, instead of having like proper merging points, you just kind of overlap them and hope you make like a smooth surface, which is what this guy did. But they're not a smooth surface, so you hit a wall and you hit like one of the pixels that just sticks out and you just get stuck, basically. I slowed down a lot more than I probably needed to there, and that's why I crashed into that wall. See what I mean? By hitting a pixel? Like, I'm trying to drive as close to the walls as I possibly can, because that's how I get the most out of it, you know? Let me try again. And I'll try to be quiet as well, so I can concentrate. Well, there you go. That's the time. 4:08.4. I actually did a few laps of this, or a few runs of this. This was the fastest. I've done a 4:08.7 as well, but this was faster, obviously, as you can see, by a little bit. So it's very much similar to the other ones. I mean, it is now the fastest S1 car on the Golden Toge that you guys have sent me. But is it by much? Is it meta? I wouldn't say so. I still think a well-tuned Viper is faster than this, in my opinion. And again, there's other cars that you can even try. I don't know if anybody's... I mean, I think someone has sent me before. No, actually, nobody's sent me a Lotus Elise GT1 yet to try on this. Only sent me Lotus Sieges. Honestly, I think I could build a faster car than this. But again, that list on the Golden Toge times on my Discord is all just for tunes that you guys have sent me. So, for that list, this is the fastest car in S1 that has gone around the Golden Toge, or that I've taken around the Golden Toge. And technically, I kind of cheated a little bit with this, because like I said, I've done a good few runs with it. I did end up crashing a few times, but I did like a good few runs. I'm going to say like 7 or 8 runs with this thing to try get a faster and faster time and try to go quicker and quicker through the corners, which I feel like it's a little bit cheating, like tiny bit, because usually with the runs that I do on the Golden Toge, I do one run from start to finish, see how I do, and then I'll do another one after that to try and, you know, perfect the corners a little bit more. And that's why I say that for a lot of the corners, I still think I can go a good few seconds faster. I mean, I can say the same thing about this, but I feel like with this one, I've done more runs than normal. Is it meta? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Is it a bad tune? No, I also don't think it's a bad tune either. Does this guy deserve the permaban though? I'm gonna leave it to the comments to decide. I'm gonna leave it for you guys to decide. I think he upped his, or not upped, but like he put this tune on such a pedestal for me to try it and basically prove him right that this is a meta tune. When in fact it's not really a meta tune. It's a good tune, but it's just not it. I feel like there's so many cars that can do what this guy can do. You know? Like I said, it's a good tune. I can't lie. I can't say it's a bad tune because it just isn't a bad tune. But the only good thing that it does, it goes down. It just goes down the golden tollgate. I mean, like if you bring it into rivals, any rivals event, I feel like it'll get walked by every other car. You know, as we've seen, obviously. But I don't know. If your tune is built for the golden tollgate, then cool. You've beaten all the other cars. Or I've beaten all the other cars with your tune, but. Yeah, I don't. It's just not meta. It's not there. It's really not there. I think it lacks power. I think if it had a little bit more power, but then again it would just hop out of S1. But if it had a little bit more power, this thing maybe could be a little bit more competitive in other rival events instead of just me bringing it down the golden tollgate. You know. Other than that, I think grip-wise it's good. Maybe you could try to get it to rotate a little bit more. So what I mean by that is when you're going into a corner and you're starting to accelerate, have the back end obviously not drift, but step out a little bit so it pushes the car into the corner, if that makes sense. This feels like it kind of wants to drag the car out of the corner, as in there's too much power going to the front wheels. Try make it slightly more rear biased, mess with your diff as well a little bit, and try to make it so the back end kind of wants to push you out of the corner instead. And even if there's just the tiniest bit of slip, that is fine because it's very much controllable, and this thing has slick racing tires, so it has a stupid amount of grip regardless. So that's what my criticism with this car is. I feel like if you can get the back end to rotate a little bit, it'll point the front end inwards a little bit more, and you can take some of the corners, I think, a little bit quicker, especially some of the higher speed corners, right? So maybe try that, see how that works out for you, see if you can, I guess, perfect this tune. But other than that, it's not a bad tune, but it's not meta. And this guy promised that it was a meta tune. So it's up to you guys. Do you guys think this should be a bannable offense? Or do you not? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely down to do more videos like this because this is just always so much fun. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for the tune. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.